Many years ago, when I was a 17-year-old aspiring rock god, I played in a beautiful venue called the Paget Rooms. This was situated in a small sleepy town in South Wales called Penarth. And when I finally moved there many years later, I looked at the Paget Rooms and thought, I wouldn't mind bringing rock back to the Pag. But how was I going to do this? I didn't have any experience of promotion, so I recruited my old mate Alan Jones. But before you can hire the venue, you have to bring in all the services. That's lighting, PA system. You also have to go and get the bar. That means going to the local off licence and getting all the stock, and then getting refrigerators and being able to manhandle them up the stairs and getting them to the first floor. Now in 2007, when we were doing this, we found that the management of the Paget Rooms were reluctant to really help in any way. The last thing they wanted was some promoter bringing in larger bands and making their work an awful lot harder. So it was tricky when we were trying to put this stuff together. And even on the day of the gig, they were late opening up for us, so we were under pressure right from the start. But what band were we going to get in to kick it all off? Alan had worked with a fabulous Queen tribute band called Queen on Fire. They'd been on television and they'd done huge gigs around Europe, and he thought that this would be a great band to get us started.
Yeah, we played there in 1967. I think just before we went to London and got signed up by Decca Records. And we played, I think it was a Saturday night if I remember. It's really good. We went on to tour with Hendrix in '68 once we had a sort of #1 record, Half as Nice, and we got invited to tour with Hendrix and the Pink Floyd at that time, and there was about 5 different bands on the bill.
The band's gear was due to arrive around about 2 to 3 o'clock. They were coming down from Birmingham as the band is based there, and then the band would arrive around about 5 o'clock, ready for their sound check. I played here in the early 70s. It was such a well-known venue. It was always part of the tour circuit. I supported Pato here. Pato changed my whole life really because of the band was so fantastic, and we supported them here. Also I supported a band called the Pink Fairies, which were like a real big hippie band in those days. A guy called Peter Engel used to run the gigs, and it was just such a fantastic show. So it brings back a lot of memories to be here again. I'm looking forward to seeing what's happened. There we are, memories of my youth. The road crew arrive and they start bringing in the gear. This was our second attempt at the gig because 2 weeks previously we had booked the band and we had sold all the tickets, and then when the day of the gig arrived, a huge amount of snow fell and it kind of just ground the whole country to a halt, and they were unable to get down there. So in the night I had to stand outside the Paget Rooms because people were turning up, and just had to give them their tickets back and then rearrange for this date.
yeah, the Paget Rooms was absolutely fantastic for all the youngsters in the late 60s and 70s, and there was absolutely some fantastic bands used to turn up. I used to be in a band called Ingerville in the early 70s, and we supported Shakin' Stevens there, who went on to the heights that he reached and earned a lot of money. We saw Tom Jones there when he started, and there was a young guitarist called Mickey G playing with him, which I think everyone in Wales would have heard of. Back in 1970, I think Free were up there, which very famous then. It was good to see them because they had their number one all right now in the charts. It's fantastic, and I think it's just such a shame that it's not really going on at all these days. It's just emptied. It's 100 years old. It's fantastic acoustics in it, as far as I'm concerned, from a drummer's point of view.
Yeah.
Can you just explain once again what's happened?
Basically, the van's here, we're here, the equipment's here, but the van's stuck at the end of the M50 in service. The hire car, the gearbox shattered.
So Thursday it was cancelled with snow, and now
I don't believe it.
and now the band.
That's how it's jinxed. It's jinxed.
Oh yeah, that you made it.
All right.
Thank you for coming.
I'm Danny.
Did you come separately as well then, or did you come?
No, Francis.
So the band is now up in Ross-on-Wye with their gearbox gone on their hire car, so I'm going to have to go and sort out someone to go up and pick them up. But of course this is going to make the sound check late and is really going to put us right under the cosh.
After Amen Corner, I basically came back and started a fashion business in South Wales, Cardiff, Newport, Bristol, and eventually ended up in Los Angeles, where I had a couple of boutiques in Hollywood for most of the 80s, and then managed a band called LA Guns, and I came back and started promoting shows here at several different venues, and have gone all over the country. So now we're coming back to this area, Penarth, which I think could be really good for live music, and it's about time somebody did something. So this is what we're doing with this show, and hopefully it'll go on to promote a lot of other big bands in the area.
Band is doing their sound check because they broke down. We had to send someone up to go and get them. So they've just arrived. We're about, what time is it? It's 6:30. The support band's going to turn up. How are you getting on with the?
Okay, I need that stuff like the mics and everything because the desk is in now. It's running all in mono. It's going to be going into one of their phones.
Right. I'll tell you what then. Are they the microphones? They're the microphones there.
Right, okay. Stands and stuff.
I'm using two of their stands. Tom said that we could use two of their stands.
Right.
I think that their acoustic guitars just plug.
Right,
Electroacoustics plug straight into the mixer.
Right. Okay. Just jack straight in.
Yeah, and then two mics.
Yeah.
Then get your balance on stage.
Right.
Back to the main fader.
Right then, mics.
Superb. And all the leads are in there. You know, you need two mic leads.
Right. Okay.
Make sure they don't get lost at the end of the night. As soon as they finish, take those bloody leads up.
Yeah, I'm keeping them all on the thing until then.
Yeah. All right.
I'll just put them on top of the wheelie cabinet and then put them out when they're here.
Yeah.
What time are they coming?
6:30. They're going to be here like in a minute. I was hoping to get washed. That doesn't look like an option now. Right. So you're going to back to get this to get some
5 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Back down and sort of.
Right.
We've got a few statements on them. We know I'm into like the house one.
Let the house, but you're going to keep some stuff moving around, so it's like interesting in the hall.
Yeah, I'll just change every
do the
now and
moving
then.
lights. That's lit outside. I think we're ready. That's it. I think we're all done. We just got to make sure that goes back in the truck,
Or a lot, yeah.
so there's not really as much space in here. The par cans, what's happening with them?
They were nice, I brought them back up. So I'll take them with me.
Right.
We have a lot of pantomimes, a lot of musicals, and plays all through the year, and some very good acts. This is the first time we've had an act of this calibre since I've been here.
So here we are in 2007, bringing the Paget Rooms back to life again, and bearing in mind that this was the venue where Man recorded their brilliant album Live at the Paget Rooms, even though they spelt the Paget Rooms incorrectly on their cover. And as the time approached, I got really excited. There felt a buzz about this gig tonight, and it was great that everyone had worked so hard to pull it all together.
We're selling tickets. Well, she's selling tickets. I'm just helping. I'm just sitting here.
Well, it's a good venue, but people just don't seem to use it anymore. Like, it used to be really cool. So you hear all people that have lived in Penarth for years about, you know, how they used to have loads of gigs here, but now they don't seem to do anything. And it would make a wicked venue for sort of something like this more regularly, but people just don't seem to use it. So I think it would be better to have something like this because it's, you know, it's local, but it's still, you know, it's big and it's good. It's a good venue. It's a nice sized stage and everything as well, but people just don't seem to really use it, which is a shame, really.
Would you like to see more of these kind of things going on?
Really, really good.
We were saying that Penarth needs more of this type of, you know, they've got the venue, let's have the shows, even if it's just tribute bands. Bring it in.
Next time, sure Let's make sure we use the Paget Rooms as it was meant to be used for music, for entertainment.
Well, as you can see, I think it went really well tonight. I'm back to my old job of collecting rubbish. But it was great to see everyone just sort of like down the front and just getting into it, and it was fantastic to see that all of Penarth came out to support this gig and got the Paget Rooms rocking again. It was fantastic. Right, excuse me, off to do this.